Well, good morning. Thanks for joining Jonathan and Julie D in the morning. Good morning, Julie.
Grand Rising, Jonathan. How are you?
Doing great this fine day. Going to be a whole 75 degrees out here in Kingman,
Woo!
Arizona. Uh,
Awesome.
I've got a we got a special guest in the house with us today, Susan
Yes.
Black. Good morning, Susan.
Good morning.
And
Hi,
you
Susan.
ran
Welcome.
and you ran
Glad
for
to be here.
U.S.
Thanks.
Yeah, you ran for U.S. House of Representatives here in Arizona.
Yes,
Um,
State House of
State House.
Representatives.
That's
Mhm.
correct. And
Okay, cool.
you also took a trip down to the border with me and my team.
I did. It was very enlightening and informative, and I appreciate Jonathan being the host of that trip. It was a great eye opener for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, boy, I'll tell you what, they keep talking about how our borders are all secure. We're exposing that one step at a time. We covered the Yuma sector last, drove up and down that border road, showing there wasn't even one military personnel on that border road. Even though the fake news out there is telling the American people how we got the military right there, the public can't even get on that border road. Well, that's a bunch of hogwash.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I drove over 100 and some miles just covering the Yuma sector alone. We're going to be covering Tucson while we're down at the American Fest coming up. Going to be there through around the 18th through the 21st, I think it is, in
Mm-hmm.
Phoenix. And then we're going down to the border from there as well. We're going to expose that. But I can't say enough. I don't know if you gals were paying attention to what happened in the news here today, but I'm going to share this with everybody real quick.
Okay.
Our good old Abrego Garcia, I think I'm saying his name right, our MS-13 thug,
Lovely.
federal courts just ordered for his release.
Lovely.
I'm going to share this.
News, a judge has ordered Kilmar Abrego Garcia to be released from ICE custody immediately. CBS News immigration and politics reporter Camilo Montoya Galvez is back with me. So what can you tell us about this?
As you underscored, Vlad, a federal judge in Maryland has decided that the detention of Abrego Garcia by ICE is unlawful and that agency has to release him immediately. Abrego Garcia is, of course, the Salvadoran man who was wrongfully deported to his home country back in March as part of a U.S. deportation effort, despite the fact, Vlad, that he had an order of protection from being deported to his home country back during the first Trump administration in 2019. The Trump administration this time around acknowledged that it made a legal mistake in deporting him to that country, but for months it refused to bring him back. It only brought him back in June so he could face criminal charges related to allegations that he smuggled undocumented immigrants into the U.S. along the U.S.-Mexico border. He was ordered released from that criminal trial and to await that trial outside of detention, but subsequently ICE took him again into custody. He is now being held at an ICE detention center in Pennsylvania. The administration has tried to remove Abrego Garcia to a third country, proposing to send them to African countries like Uganda.
That's enough right there to sicken anybody. I mean, these guys again, that's another, I believe, Biden judge
Mhm.
releasing these thugs out on the street.
Mhm.
Our
We've got our,
weaponized DOJ. Yep.
oh yeah,
Right.
we've got our, and here we got our border patrol constantly getting assaulted now, shot at. Their lives are being threatened, and
Mhm.
now they're releasing this thug on our streets. I'm very irate about it,
Yeah.
and it's just, when does enough become enough for this country? That's the $1 million question.
Yeah. Yeah.
When,
What's
when
the final tipping point? Yeah.
yeah. Um,
Exactly.
so
Susan, I would love to hear about your trip and what insights you received. And I haven't been myself yet. And so if you can share with us what you sort of expected and then what was completely blown away from any expectation you might have had.
Well, when I went, it was before Trump took office, but I know that a lot of the activity is still ongoing. The one thing that I was blown away with is that the city of Tucson has purchased land and basically opened up a corridor all the way down to the border, which includes state land, Arizona state land. And they're just free. The cartels are free to run amok and do their thing through that whole corridor area. And
Wow.
it's a very well-known sex trafficking area and human trafficking area. And they're aiding and abetting this
Mhm.
activity. And
Yeah.
that's what I couldn't believe, is that they're just, they're bought off by the cartels, and cartels are running our state of Arizona. And anybody that is a whistleblower, basically gets threats against them and so forth. And they do everything they can to find something against them or hook them into, having something over their head to blackmail them into conforming to their, looking the other way, so to speak.
Right.
And it's their legislators are even affected by the cartel money, and it's follow the money. And it's really, really sad to see what the state of Arizona has become. And people are just not aware of the depth and the width of their effectiveness, and they are effective. And on the Indian reservation, it's wide open now. I know that Sasabe, where we are, a lot of that's been closed up, but the Indian reservation, they're aiding and abetting it as well. They're paid
Right.
off by the cartels.
Right.
That is unacceptable.
Yes.
And we need to take care of that. And if Trump needs to step in to do more there, I believe that's what has to happen. It's way bigger than people are realizing, and the mainstream media is not reporting on that. They're only reporting on the good parts of it, the good stuff, not the negative. Yeah. But
Susan, I'm gonna
Wow.
share a little clip from the border down there. This is where me and my team were at on the Chilton Ranch, where the cartel was heavily coming through. And these were people from 150 countries on this footage coming through our borders right here. Okay, go ahead, Jim.
He's gonna pull forward.
Yep, you gonna pull forward. All right.
Go.
So this is Jonathan Alexander reporting live with Live Border News. Want to drive down, Jim? And this is a mass. So this is the Jim Chilton Ranch, folks. Illegals that have now crossed through the border today.
Look over to your right.
And there's a whole big camp out here. Full of them. So we put a bunch of surveillance cameras up on the Chilton Ranch, exposing the cartel. And I submitted that over to make sure somebody tells Border Patrol there's a bunch up that way. So children will freeze tonight.
so this was the Chilton Ranch. Was this a No More Deaths camp?
And actually, I'm going to walk down. Now, if you remember, Susan, where we took you at, if you remember where we took you at, this is not even 20 minutes from that location. Up the main road.
Yeah.
All right. So, anyways, been out here at the ranch with Jim, and this is what he's been having come through his property down here. Mass amounts
It's
of
trespassing.
illegals coming through up and down
Completely.
the border. And as you see, here's hundreds of more coming through.
Wide open gape in the wall as well.
And you see how the border wall's been cut right there?
Yeah.
And that, folks, that was done by the Army Corps of Engineers, just to give you guys an update on this. So our border walls, the reason why we got over 30 million illegals poured through our southern borders, the Biden administration ordered the Army Corps of Engineers to come in, cut out sections of Trump's wall, so that tens of thousands of illegals could pour through that wall each and every day.
Wow.
And you guys got to keep in mind, this went on for 4 years.
4 years.
So did the Trump administration come through and tore up that wall, or is it still wide open?
There are sections of that down on the tribal land where it's still wide open, just
Yeah.
like that.
Right. That's what I
And
thought.
that's where we cannot border. This is why when they're saying our borders are secure, they're
Mhm.
not really secure.
Right.
When I've spoke with the tribe people down there, they don't want that. They want the border wall in place. They're tired of their women and children being raped and human trafficked by the cartel.
Mhm.
But the tribal council, they kind of work like a president works. They overrode the people. They didn't care what the people wanted. They said, nope, we're going to allow this. And so that tells you right there, the tribal council on these Indian tribes are being bought and paid for.
Right,
Point blank and
exactly.
clear.
Wow.
If I can enlarge that. I'm sure he knows. All right.
Fair amount of people there. Yep.
Just to give you guys heads up, you got about 60 more coming down the mountain. That was 60 more coming down, not 16.
60. Wow.
I understand. This is the last we're going to pick up there in our shift. They're going to have to wait here for
So they're still aiding and abetting.
Did you let him know that there's a bunch of toddlers up there?
Yeah, I just.
All right, just making sure he knows.
There's only so much we can pick up.
All right, buddy, I understand where you're at. So what I told him was there was a bunch of toddlers left behind up there, making them aware of it, and these were just, I'm talking little tiny children, 6 months old, a year old, that were just left behind up there, and Border Patrol at that point said it was out of their hands, that they've done all they can do for the day.
Now, wait a minute. The timeout, because I'm confused. What do you mean left them where exactly? Like without an adult at all? Just a child?
This happens all the time, Julie. There's been so many times Border Patrol will be out on patrol and they'll pick up dead babies off of the border road. This is nonsense.
Oh, okay.
Pick up dead babies, raped women. A lot of these children from 6 years and up, they've had 10, 20 different semens in them.
Oh, God.
Raped by the cartel. They've got their rape trees down there where they throw their undies up in the tree as a souvenir. I mean, it's sickening what we have witnessed on these borders.
Wow.
Well, and I heard a story on our tour when Jonathan took us. There was the Border Patrol agent that had been let go because she was uncorruptible, basically. And some of the things that she saw, some of the things that she saw was, she heard about little children, which, they would be sliced down and stuffed with drugs.
Yep.
and then carry to trips, you know, and those are the stories you don't hear every day.
Oh,
I mean, my
Lord.
husband even said, be careful who you tell that to, because not everybody can handle that
Yeah.
True.
level of abuse and, you know, destruction.
Mhm.
It's horrible. It's
is.
absolutely horrible,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh.
And then these children being paraded around in Las Vegas and sold, you know, as sex slaves. I mean, they're bringing them up from the border, and yeah, it's, you know, I do believe they're doing some work, but there's still a lot more to be done.
Right.
Oh, there's so much work that needs to be done yet. And like I keep telling people, Susan, you know, right now what we're dealing with is Trump has gotten out of this country so far. What was it, 100,000 people? Did we lose Susan?
Right. I think
Think we lost?
so.
Well, she can enter back in the studio.
She'll come back in there. Yeah.
But either way, we've lost 100. You know, we've gotten 100,000 out of the country so far.
Right.
With that being said, you know, we're in the first year of Trump's administration.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
And that's nothing. I mean, that's nothing for the number of people that are here.
exactly.
You
Yeah,
know?
here she is. Yep. There you are.
Sorry, my battery. I didn't realize. It's ready to go that quick.
You're
Well,
all right.
we can hear you, but now we can't see you.
Uh-oh.
That's all right.
Okay, 1 second. I'll get there.
Okay.
But you know, Susan, what I was just telling everybody is, you know, right now Trump has gotten removed from this country about 100,000 illegals so far. He's got 3 years left to get rid of 30 million.
Yeah, right.
I mean, if you do the math, it doesn't add up.
No.
There's no way in heck he's going to get rid of 30 million illegals out of this country the way he's doing it right now.
Not at the current rate. Correct.
Not
Correct.
at the way it's being handled right
in the
now.
manner in which it's being done. That's correct. Yes.
And again, you know, their suggestion on bounty hunters, you know, rounding these people up.
Right.
I agree with this 100% because
Yep.
at this point in time, if you don't start doing something, you know, at the numbers he's at right now, you're going to be lucky to get rid of 4 or 5 million if you're lucky.
Yeah.
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 It's
And that's
true.
if you're lucky.
Right.
And again, we've had over 30 million come through the borders, and those are and I can't express this enough, folks. That's the ones that they actually took into custody, took them to the processing center, processed them, and shipped them to a city near you guys.
Right.
That's not including all the gotaways.
Right.
Well, and
So-
all the bus loads of people, you know, we saw the bus loads, you know, one
Yeah.
bus load coming in after another, and you've got that many buses coming in, going all day long for days in and days out. There's, you know, it's going to take a long time to turn around the ship, turn the ship around. You know, that's a lot of people to ship back.
Yes, it is. Yes.
And you know, Susan, I've been mentioning this, and tell me if you agree with me or not. You know, if the Democrats take control in 2028, I think I personally believe this country is going to be finished. They're going to undo everything that Donald Trump is doing right now.
Mhm.
I guarantee you from day one, they're going to go back in and they're going to cut holes in that wall again where it's been resealed up. They're going to reopen it for a mass flood of illegals coming through our borders.
Mhm.
And honestly, that's what I see happening.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
So this is
we've
why
got to hang on to our country for the next, you know, for the next election. We got to work hard. That's one thing I like about Turning Point Action is they're really doing a great job of getting boots on the ground in these swing states. You know, I was able to help with that as well, which I was very grateful for that. That was a big undertaking, and we've got to hang on to it the next 4 years after Trump's term's up.
Absolutely.
Take a look at what just happened out there in Miami. You know, first time in over 30 years, a Democrat mayor just got elected, and I did get the statistics on that. I think it was less than 20% showed up for this election as well. Is what I found. because
Yeah.
I went to Miami through the election place.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it said 20% showed up. That's it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then the Republicans wonder, like how we just lost the Tucson's area where Daniel Gutierrez was running for Congress. He
Right.
didn't even have 20% show up for that special election. And that's why Grajava got back in office. Grajava's daughter did because Grajava died.
Yeah.
And that was a special election. Not even 20% showed up for that. So for all you folks out there, I'm going to say this again. You guys got to get off your butts, do what you got to do, drag your neighbors, your friends, get them down to vote during these elections.
Yeah.
Because I'm
We got to
telling you right-
outvote
Yep.
the rig.
Right. Exactly. That's what I've been saying, Susan.
Yep.
You know,
Outvote the rig.
they thought in 2016 that Hillary was going to win.
Yeah.
So while they had things tweaked, they had it tweaked for a certain percentage. But when the mass people showed up, it threw their algorithm off
Exactly.
for the percentage of cheating,
Mhm.
and that's how Trump got in there. So we need to continue to show up, even if we think it's corrupt or we know that it's corrupt. We still have to be boots on the ground and have our voice be heard at the ballot box.
Well, and a lot of people don't know how to get involved. That's another thing is people want to help, but they don't know how to get involved. And,
Exactly.
Turning Point has got a great app out there that anybody can pull up their neighbors that are registered voters, and they can call them up and say, hey, do you need a ride to go vote? Or have you voted yet? Do you have questions? Those are easy ways to follow up and chase the vote, and it'll show who all hasn't voted yet. And it's a great tool to use. And, we've got to get these out and people helping in the swing states. And, and it takes a lot of money to run that technology and so forth, but it's very easy and user friendly as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So just explain a little more on this video that I'm sharing right here. We had people from 150 different countries this day pouring through the border. I'm going to play just a little more and we'll end this.
Okay.
This has been nonstop.
There we go. Like, where the heck is this?
Good job, Susan.
I kept trying.
Covering the rancher up here in the truck, his property. And he's been having quite the flood through his property. Oh. Where are you guys from? Guinea? Guinea? You guys from Guinea? Guinea? Yes. What's your name, ma'am? What's your name?
What's your name?
I'm Jonathan Alexander, Live Border News. So we do all the live coverage down there every day. You don't have to be rude about it. So this gal's one of the humanitarian aides. They instruct all these illegals to not talk to any reporters, period.
Humanitarian aid my butt.
Yep.
Yeah.
No way.
And keep in mind, she's was a big part of the No More Death Camp as well, which is not far from the Chilton Ranch right there.
Wow.
To answer your question, Susan, that's not even 5 miles from the No More Death Camp. So what would happen is these guys would come through this sector right here, and a lot of times they would hike the trails. The cartel would, not these guys. These guys are waiting for transport. But the cartels would hike their drugs, human trafficking, whatever they're doing. They would hike it right over to the No More Death Camp. And then from there, they'd make it over to 3 Points, which is a trafficking route right there where they'd be picked up and then trafficked all over the country from there. Because you got
all the locals know about it. All the locals know about it.
Yep. And all the locals know about it.
Yeah.
And they sure.
So what do we do? I mean, who do we have to get it to have it addressed? Where's the fall down here with all of this? Do we know? even?
Well, again, Julie, I've got hundreds of hours of footage on that ranch right there, where I submitted that over to Jim Jordan a little over a year ago at the meeting over in Sierra Vista that we
Okay.
did, and he has the footage. And
Okay.
to this day, I never heard anything more.
So is he the only one that has any of that footage? Maybe we need to get it to somebody else, because if he's all he's going to do is sit on it, let's get it to somebody else, maybe.
And I'm not here to beat up on Jim Jordan. I like the guy. You know, he does great work. But at the same time, um, I have found out that they recently raided the No More Death Camp again.
Okay.
Did they? Good.
So that's a good thing. But the
Yeah.
problem is, unless
They
you
just move
demolish unless you demolish these camps to the ground, they're just going to
Yeah.
restart up. That's
Right.
what the No More Death Camp has done for the last 30 years. These guys
Well-
have been in operation forever.
And they
Wow.
start up on somebody else's property. That's the hard part, you know,
Wow.
and you can't get them off. I you know, I
Right.
had one of the gals that was running for attorney general in, or yeah, the AG position.
Yeah.
Tiffany Shed. Anyway, she lives down on the border, and she says they're running, you know, across her property all the time. And she's got teenage daughters that live there, and
Oh.
they are instructed, like they are taught to defend themselves and have had to multiple times. And they've got their entire property fenced with barbed wire and everything, and they'll come right in, right over, right through, and just act like there's no repercussions whatsoever. They just do whatever they want, and you know, they're so far in the rural area that it takes hours to get somebody over there to even show up, and by that time they're gone. You know,
Of course.
and
Right.
I mean, her daughters know how to use a gun
Yeah.
and have had to defend themselves multiple times. That's not cool. You know, you want
Susan,
people safe on
Susan
your
is
own property.
Right.
is that the same
Right.
gal that lives over by 3 Points that me and my team went in, put some fencing up for?
No, that was somebody
Okay.
else.
Okay.
No.
Sounds like.
But I know who you're talking about. Yeah. I
Yeah,
know
that
who you're
almost
talking
sounds
about.
like her story. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Well,
I
and
think
that's
I'd be
common.
moving.
That's common down at the border.
That's
You don't want to
horrible.
live down there. I wouldn't want to live down there.
I wouldn't want to live down
Yeah,
there.
and then the one guy, remember the one guy that shot somebody, you know, that was trespassing on his property, and
Mhm.
what,
Oh.
he ended up in jail because of it, you know, defending his own property.
Property.
Yeah.
Yeah, protecting his family. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And he got acquitted on that, by the way.
Did he? Good.
Yeah, he got acquitted of all charges.
But even
thank
to
God.
have to, yeah,
Even to have to even be charged that
Right.
to be brought up, it should be a no-brainer. No, his property, he's got the piece of
Yeah.
paper to prove it. Leave the man alone.
Yeah.
exactly.
So
So
what's
let's-
the rule on that? Do you have to hit him in the back or forward as they're leaving your property or coming on? I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
But you know, and here once again, I'm going to bring up Mark Kelly for you folks. You know,
Mm.
here's a guy that's sitting there telling the soldiers to ignore Trump's orders. Basically,
Yeah.
is what he's telling them all to do. Like
Yeah.
he's giving unlawful orders, but yet Mark Kelly was a part of this invasion that I just showed you guys. He was working right with the governor of Arizona. You know, Cartel Hobbs is what we call her. You know, but he's working with all these thugs at the same time. They have our border patrol agents down there. They were these border patrol guys that resigned. I brought this up a couple of days in a row, and I'm going to say it one last time. I think kind of like the Trump administration did with this government shutdown, where he paid the people that worked without pay extra bonuses.
Mhm.
What Trump ought to do for those border patrol agents that did the right thing and resigned, saying they're not going to follow unlawful orders, they're not going to assist with a foreign invasion. I think he ought to reinstate every one of them, because some of those guys had 19 years in, were almost to full retirement, and they lost it all because they resigned because they refused to accept unlawful orders, and
Right.
no one was doing anything about it.
That's right.
So I think we need to put a lot of pressure on at whitehouse.gov. So I'm going to ask all you guys to email whitehouse.gov. Tell them you watch Your News Arizona. We brought this up today. We've done all the live border news. For a lot of you guys out there on your Facebook, know me as Live Border News instead of Your News Arizona. But
Right.
now we're covering everything.
Right.
But the point is, you know, we have exposed the truth. These Border Patrol agents did the right thing by resigning.
Yes.
And I feel that they should be reinstated with full pay, full
Yeah.
back pay.
Oh, back pay.
And the ones that would have had their 20 years in it, say they were at 19, just call
Mm-hmm.
it full retirement for them.
Yep.
These guys served this country, put their
Right.
lives in harm's way all this time up
Yep.
until the Biden administration gave them what I call illegal orders. That
Yes.
is an illegal order. What
Yes.
does the Constitution tell us, folks? We are not to aid and abet the enemy.
Right.
We are not to assist in a foreign invasion, period.
Right. Right.
That's why, in the Constitution, it says we are to protect and defend against what?
Invaders.
Yeah.
Foreign
All
and
in.
domestic.
Foreign and domestic.
That's
Foreign
right.
and And those Border Patrol agents did do the right thing by resigning.
Yep.
So again, if you guys can reach out to whitehouse.gov, also blow up the White House phone number. I don't have it in front of me right today, but it's easy to Google search it, blow up their lines, and tell them to tell the Trump administration to reinstate those guys with full pay, the ones that did their job by resigning. That's what I call an honorable man and woman.
Right.
Mhm. Yep.
No
Yep.
ifs and buts.
Well, and they did it recently for the folks that had refused the jab, and
Yep.
gave them, not only their job back but the back pay as well.
Yep.
So I think that stands to reason. We need to follow suit, and we need the help at the border still.
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
the sound bites are that everything's hunky dory and peachy creamy, and that's not the truth. So let's get some more people back in there that can help clean it up, and like we were talking, bring in the bounty hunter concept. And the way that they had that written out, that job description, they were saying that the bounty hunter isn't going to actually be like the go hands-on pick-up person, but they're going to confirm that yes, 49 people live at this
Address.
2-bedroom apartment
Yeah.
in Jersey, so it's more a confirm before we get there, just to make sure that we're getting the right people and that everybody's where they say they are. So
Yeah. Now, Susan, you're out in Michigan now, right?
Missouri.
I mean, Missouri. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
I
Missouri.
moved to, so I'm, yeah, we've been here 5 weeks now.
Yep.
what part
So
of
I moved
Missouri?
to, Lake of the Ozarks. So I'm in an ultra conservative area. So
Yes, you are.
I'm
Beautiful.
loving it. I went to my first Republican meeting, and there was, for 5 counties, there was 9 people there. So that was interesting. It was a good old boys club, but I
Yeah.
know I grew up here, and my mom she was part of the city council here in Eldon, Missouri, and my sister's father-in-law was the mayor of Eldon, and I've got ties, so all I have to do is drop
Yeah.
a few names. So
Beautiful. Good
Yeah,
for
so
Well,
you.
Susan,
we'll see what happens in the future, but yeah.
you've done so
Awesome.
much good. You've done so much good work when you're out here in Arizona. It was sad to see you
Yeah.
leave, but I hope you continue to fight out there. Where
Absolutely. Yeah.
You're at now.
I'm looking forward to being more involved out
Yeah.
here and just seeing how I can be helpful. And yeah, exactly.
Well,
So
welcome back to Missouri. I'm up here in Kansas City.
okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm not far from you.
Well,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
sister's in Greenwood. So yeah.
Okay.
Well, from what I hear, Kansas City and St. Louis are more tainted liberal. So
And they are.
yeah.
They are. So yeah, we tiptoe interestingly up here, but there's still plenty of red pockets all over
Good.
the place. So,
Good to hear.
yeah.
Well, I love Josh Hawley, and I'm
Yes.
excited to get to know more of the leadership. And I already know some of the Freedom Caucus members, and I know a couple of the other House members here locally. So
Excellent.
That helps. I've already had the grand tour of the Capitol and all the way up into the rotunda, and that was nice. All the
I
the
love our
unknown.
capital. Yeah,
Yes,
our
it is
capital, the
beautiful.
Missouri capital, is gorgeous.
Beautiful.
It is
Absolutely.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Hey,
and then the secret place that you
Yes.
talk, and yeah, I love that
Yeah.
rotunda.
I
Very
was
nice.
able to go up there and even further up higher, up in the little narrow.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
cool. I
So,
love that area. They're very cool.
yeah.
Jefferson. Yep. I used to live in. I worked at University of Missouri, so I lived in Rocheport, Missouri.
Okay.
So right
Great.
outside Columbia, there on
Yeah.
the river.
Well, my niece is in Columbia, and yeah, my other niece is in Kansas City area. She's in Lee Summit. We were up in Lee Summit this last weekend going to a fundraiser for one of her groups. So Hope House. So
Oh yes, I know that well. Yeah.
yes.
Well, we'll connect. We'll
Well,
connect. That's
good.
great.
Yeah, that'd be
Awesome.
great, Julie. That would be
Yeah.
wonderful. So I'm
hey,
looking.
Susan, real quick, I've got to ask you a question. When you were down in Phoenix, did you ever see the gay pride thing right up above the American
Oh,
flags
yeah.
at the
Oh,
Capitol?
yeah, absolutely at the Capitol. I think I might even have pictures I could pull up
Well,
somewhere.
that's what we
Yeah,
did the live
got that.
coverage down there. When did they start doing that? That was the first time I ever seen it.
Back in the Biden administration. Yeah, about 3 years ago, I think. Yeah.
What a
4.
disgrace! What a
I know.
disgrace!
Yeah.
And what?
Yeah. I think it
And
was on the executive tower. I don't know if it was actually on the Capitol, but I think it was
well,
on the
it was
executive tower.
yeah, it was at the Capitol as well.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep, which blew me away seeing it, and I even questioned the the Capitol Police about
The
it.
Capitol Police that was there. Yeah.
Capitol Police was sickened by it, and they said,
Mhm.
Right.
that's what Hobbs wanted.
We got to get Hobbs out. We just got to get Hobbs out, in 2026. I mean, we've got Andy Biggs running out there, and we've got some great candidates that are running, and we just have to support them, and we got to get out and get the vote out, chase the vote, chase
Exactly.
the vote.
That's the biggest thing. That's our boots on the ground. Everybody's like, how do I help? How do I help?
Right.
Get out
Yeah.
and vote. That's
Yeah.
all.
And again, folks, it's kind of like what I've been announcing to you guys. I mean, you take a look at, like I said, Daniel Gutierrez. He lost his
Right.
race in that special election because
He was a great guy too.
Because you folks down there in the Tucson area and parts of Phoenix, even was his territory, as well as Yuma, Arizona areas. You folks failed to get out and vote.
Mhm.
And now I'm hearing from the same folks that didn't get out and vote. They're griping and crying about it, saying, "Can you believe what Grajava's doing now?" And it's like, what does it matter to you? But if you didn't get out and vote, obviously you don't care. That's
Right.
my attitude.
Well,
I'm not
I'll
trying
tell
to
you
be a
what.
jerk about it, but
The church memberships are terrible, and the churches are not very good at supporting anything politically. I actually left one of the churches that I was heavily involved in, and actually was the startup. I was on their board because I didn't have the support when I ran for office that I expected. And there's a gal that is doing some phenomenal things. She's contacting various churches to get people registered to vote. And it's amazing how many, Turning Point has even, Charlie Kirk had mentioned the statistics on how many members are actually registered, and then how many of those actually vote. It's pathetic. And, that's a big conservative base that needs to be heard. And, we'll just leave it to God. Well, that's, one of the things that I was doing was promoting the biblical citizenship class with the Patriot Academy, which is, our duty as a citizen is to vote. And that's our duty, Christian, non-Christian, it doesn't matter. Our duty is to vote, and educating believers into being more involved and, making their voice heard. And that's one thing I liked about Turning Point. Their coalitions putting together, with pastors and just giving them the tools and educate them on what they can do to, rally up their own membership to get out and vote. So Dream City was I loved the Freedom Night. Dream City is great at promoting, and encouraging people to vote. But if anybody needs a contact, I've got somebody that she'll actually train people to man a table at a church and get people registered to vote and encourage them to find out more and where they can find out more about being involved, and sign up to become a PC in your local legislative district. I mean,
Is that something we could put in the comments section?
Yeah.
Do you have their contact information?
I do, of course. It's on the other side of the room.
Okay, that's fine.
since my computer almost died here, so here.
Yeah.
Well,
we'll get that we can get that added afterwards.
I'll text it all to you. You can get it out.
Perfect. Yes, that's awesome. That's amazing.
But to answer your question, Susan, about these churches, I'm not so much a question, but here's the problem I found. A lot of the churches are working with the cartel, and I hate to say it.
Like the Catholic Charities group, and
the No More Death Camp down there has
the
Catholic Charities out of Tucson working with them.
The humanitarian effort,
There's a Baptist church as well that's working with them, and so when I see this kind of stuff in these churches, it's like, wait a second, what are you guys doing?
Yeah. They don't realize what they're actually supporting. I think that's the problem, is educating the public. They don't understand, under a humanitarian effort sounds all good, but they don't understand the depth of what they're actually supporting. People want to do the right thing or do good things, but when they don't understand the truth, that's the sad part.
That's right. I think you were down there with us when I had Pastor John Padula with me from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho.
Yeah.
And even that pastor right there, he'll tell you, folks, and Pastor Padula was down there. He was irate with what he witnessed and seen. And he'll be the first to tell you, what's happening on our borders. Everybody should see it. Anybody that's in the churches that's helping and believes that what Trump is doing is so terrible, well, call me. I'll take you guys on a border tour. 928-385-4738 is my studio. Call me. I'll take you guys on a border trip. I've got a trip coming up on the 22nd, I believe.
22nd, yep.
We're going to take that trip down to the border with some senators and people. So if you guys want to come down and see it for yourself and witness it, give me a call. I'm happy to give you guys
I'm glad I went. Yeah, I'm really glad that I went. It really opened up my eyes to see what was going on a deeper level. And it's incredible. It's really incredible, the destruction of lives of these women for, the trauma that they're going through and the children. I mean, this is very traumatic. It's a very traumatic situation. And people so often, whenever I've talked about it, they're just appalled. They just can't believe when I go into the depth of what I know. It's like you said, the rape trees and the number of semen samples and, And the sad part is these people are coming across the border, and I don't think they knew that that's what they were signing up for when they came across,
Right.
Well, and a lot of times
being sex slaves. Yeah.
Right.
A lot of times, Susan, though, those women are not those children's parents.
Right.
And that's the thing. They were being human trafficked or they were kidnapped from Mexico. I had Lieutenant Governor Janice McGeehan have me go fly out the state capitol in Boise to give a speech on this. And I had live footage to where the cartel was demanding this family to give up their children, and they refused, and they ended up doing a beheading. And they didn't even believe me in Boise, and I was going to play it right there at the Capitol. But then I got surrounded.
I remember you talking about that. Yeah.
And then I get surrounded by all these reporters out on the Capitol steps, and they go, Mr. Alexander, we didn't believe none of what you said today. I said, well, really? Yeah, beheadings. Yeah, right. I said, well, you're in luck.
Yeah. Here you go. Here's the film.
I was gonna play the footage for the lieutenant governor, and she said it was too graphic for this audience, and it was. It was very, very detailed and very graphic. So next thing you know, the reporter's watching the video, and he vomits over the Capitol steps, just bursts into tears.
Wow.
And he's going, "Oh my God, oh my God!" And it's like, "Oh my God, what? You guys, he goes, I didn't believe this was happening. And I said, you know why you didn't believe it? I said, because you guys are so involved in your fake news BS.
Mhm.
None of you want to see the truth of what's really
Right.
happening.
Yeah. They're
Um,
4 a.m. talking points that they all
Yeah.
get and then squawk out to the rest of the country, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
But that's how the cartels get these families to surrender, give up their
Right.
wives,
Mhm.
their children, because
Yep.
the cartel would just behead one of them, and then they'll tell them who's next. So
Mhm.
naturally, the family doesn't want to see their whole family beheaded, so
Right.
they surrender to the cartel, give up their kids,
Man.
and then
Yeah.
they're being human trafficked or they're being killed, stuck
Mhm.
with drugs, like what you said, Susan. And you're
Yeah.
right.
Mhm.
We don't like to talk about it on our show that
Right.
often,
No.
but that's the reality, folks. That's what they would do. They would actually kill an infant,
Mhm.
stuff it full of fentanyl,
Mhm.
pounds of coke, whatever they can get inside the child, sew it up, and try to
Yeah.
make it look like the mother carrying a baby through the border. I mean,
Yeah.
this is the kind of
Holy
crap.
shit.
This is the kind of crap that we experienced on the border.
Right.
Oh my God.
And so, for you guys to think I've exaggerated over the years about stuff that we have witnessed and
Well,
seen, if you
we
guys
need to
ever had
support the genetic testing piece of it. You
yeah,
know, those bringing them across the border need to be genetically tested, see if it's a match
exactly,
and whether they are actually the parents or not.
Right.
they should
Okay.
have been doing.
Yeah.
They should have been doing that all along.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely.
I mean, just like that one gal that came through the border, Katrina. Pastor Padula was with me right then and there. And I told the pastor, I said, that's a human trafficker, Pastor. And he evidently at that point in time, I'll just say it, I don't think he believed me at that moment. He goes, oh, I don't think she is. And I said, well, those aren't her children.
Yeah.
And this gal had been through the border so many times, coming through with different groups of children, that the Border Patrol even knew her by first name.
Right.
So many times.
Exactly. Yeah.
So this time, the pastor gives her his phone number, tells her to contact him right when she gets to where she's going. Not even a day later, she ends up clean out in Baltimore, Maryland. The pastor gets a phone call, and it wasn't her on the other end. It was the cartel guys. And
Mhm.
the pastor asked if he could speak to her, and they go, no, you can't effing speak to her. You got the money for the children. Where we're going to meet up at? And the pastor didn't know what to think or say. And so he called
Right.
me up. So the FBI field office out in Baltimore did an undercover sting there, and we covered a bunch of children. But she was
Man.
already flown back. She already flew back to Mexico by that point. That quick
Wow.
to do it all over again.
All over again.
Man.
Exactly. I mean, they
It's a
had it
revol-
down to a science. Exactly.
Man.
It's
You
a
know, she ain't
revolving
the
door,
only
folks.
one. They got hundreds of people doing that a
Right.
day.
Exactly.
Man.
Yeah.
But the Democrats don't seem to think we ever had a border crisis.
Right.
Well,
Right.
they want more illegal votes. That's their scam.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So for those of you out there that might be a Democrat watching on YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, and X today, I'm broadcasting on multiple streams today. If you guys are watching today, if you don't believe what I'm telling you guys today, give me a call, 928-385-4738. I'll personally take you on this border trip. And that invite is for all you Democrat congressmen, senators as well. You guys want to come see the reality? We'll take you right into the heart of the cartel on American soil that's still here.
Mhm.
And we'll take you in. We'll show it to you. And then when at the end of the trip, all I ask out of you, first of all, is that you film it, you get it all on recording, and you take it back to your party, and then question them, because I'll tell you what, this is still happening, folks. And I heard Trump the other day say on a live broadcast, nobody's coming through the borders, and I love our president. I'm not going to beat up on him, but that right there was inaccurate. Because if you go down to the tribal lands, they're still pouring through. Our Border Patrol agents will tell you they're still pouring through. And I'll be happy to take you guys down to the tribal lands as well and show it to you. So, and then you tell me we still don't have a border crisis.
Yeah. Right. What were you going to say, Susan?
Well, he's getting inaccurate information. That's the problem.
Yeah.
you know.
And I think he's just telling what he's been being told.
Right.
Yes,
And I
Exactly.
wanna
that's right.
express that,
Right.
That's exactly what he's been.
you know?
That's why it's important that we continue to do what we're doing,
Mhm.
so that hopefully somebody will see this and get it to him to say,
Right.
no, we're not 100%, sir.
Right.
We got some issues and the tissues of the country, and please help. You know.
And
And
you
I
guys
do
got
think
any
they're trying. They're trying hard, you know, but
Yes.
there's a lot more to do.
Yes.
you guys got any questions, reach out to Sheriff Mark Lamb. For those of you guys that know Mark Lamb, Mark Lamb will tell you. Me and Mark just had a conversation, I think about 3 weeks ago, talking about the No More Death Camp, where we're
Mhm.
trying to put pressure on the administration and everybody to shut that sucker permanently down.
Mhm.
Mark's been working on that as well. There's so much that, and this is why it's important also, folks, to get Mark in office. He's running again. Um,
Good.
we got to have fighters, guys. We got to have
Yep.
people that's not just going to talk the talk. They're going to be boots on the ground. Mark
Mhm.
Lamb's been nothing but boots on the ground.
Mhm.
Everybody calls a lot of people call him Mr. Hollywood because he's out all the time doing commercials. But
He's a
I
good
know,
representative of our
yeah,
state. We
yeah,
need
but I
him
know,
in office. Yeah.
yeah, I know Mark personally, and I can tell you right now that man has put his life on the line
Oh, absolutely.
so many times. He's
Wow.
been right into the heart of the cartel. He's
Mhm.
been, he's taken a lot of them out, put them in prison, whatever.
Wow.
But then next thing you know, it's a revolving door because
Right.
the courts turn
They get
around
him
and
out. They let him loose.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
end up letting these
Exactly.
guys back out to do it all over again to harm American people.
Mhm.
Ridiculous.
So this is why we got to get someone like Mark Lamb into office as well, because Mark
Mhm.
will shut it down permanently.
Yep. Toot
Gotta
sweet.
love it. So,
I agree.
Susan, God, it's good to see you.
You too. Yeah, I wish I
Yeah.
could be there next week with you. I'm going to be in town too in Phoenix, but I'm not going to be able to attend AmFest, but I'm bummed
Well,
about
you
it.
decide you'd like to make that border trip, let us know. We'll take you down with us.
Maybe another time. Yeah, we're still
Yeah.
in the transitioning period, but
Yeah.
we'll get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Again, that invite is up for all you guys watching today. Any of you guys going to be down in the Phoenix area, you guys want to take a trip down to the border, just contact me, and I'll give you guys firsthand knowledge of what's really happening on these borders. And trust me, I'm not going to lie to you, folks. By your coming down, you're putting your life in harm's way. That's all I'm going to tell you. So,
Yeah.
I'm
We
going
were
to have
carrying
you.
for sure.
I'm going to have you sign a waiver before you even go with this, saying that I'm not responsible for your life if something does happen down there.
Sure.
Yes,
Right.
it's even our border patrol is shot upon, fired
Mhm.
upon. So,
Yeah.
but again, every time we're reporting to you guys from down there, we're putting our lives very much in harm's way.
Yes, you are. We thank you
That's-
for all the efforts that you do, Jonathan.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's the way. That's the only way we get the truth out to America. And and I believe in real news, not the fake news. That's why I started my own news broadcast. We're actually licensed through Arizona now, Susan, for your news.
Yes.
We're
Great.
a licensed broadcast, and so we're coming a long way. You guys will be able to find us on Q Broadcasts as well. We've got our live TV station, and we're going to be broadcasting live from the American Fest with Q Broadcasts. We'll be right
Yep.
beside
Come
the
out and say
broadcast.
hello. Stop
Yes.
by the
Yes.
booth and say hi.
Yeah.
Stop
awesome.
on in and check us out, and we'll share a lot of information with you guys down there at the event as well.
Yep.
But other than that, Susan, anything else you'd like to share about the border?
No, I think you covered a lot of it. But yeah, I don't listen to the fake news. That's the big thing.
Right. Right.
You know? And
exactly.
this is a big undertaking, and we're not done yet. We've got a lot more work to do, and we can't stop putting pressure on our leadership, our legislators, our congressmen, our senators, and I know a lot of them are bought off, by the cartels. It's infiltrated on a national level. That's the sad part. It's not just on a state level in Arizona, it's on a national level. And, I like that Trump has declared the cartels as terrorists, that puts it into a whole nother level of, of accountability, but there's a lot to be done. I mean, they're living right here under our nose. You know, could
Yeah.
be your next door neighbor. Yeah.
Right.
You know, that's why I didn't understand why that Abu Garcia or whatever his name was just
Ruben.
released.
Ruben.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Why was he released? He's been a
Oh,
part of the
no,
cartel, MS-13, blah blah blah. How can a court overrule Trump and his administration?
I don't get that either.
And these guys and let this thug back out on the street to cause harm.
He's
here in
paid
America.
off. Yeah.
Yep, he's bought and paid for.
He's got to be.
And
Gotta be.
again, and we exposed over the last month, Susan, several judges that's been arrested for their corruption, and we're
Yeah.
going to we're investigating every one of these guys as well, and helping expose them. So,
Well, you know, and you know, even though I moved out of Arizona and moved into Missouri, you know, around the Lake of the Ozarks, the sex trafficking is huge around the lake.
Oh, girl, you have no idea.
Yeah.
Ginormous.
It's a
Yeah.
big problem.
So
Yeah.
here's a little tie. So I'm working up in Merriam, Kansas, and we found out 2 years ago, shortly after I got here, that this is sort of an industrial area, and so
Mhm.
there's folks moving in and out, and they were moving teenage children, kids, women from Lake of the Ozarks up through here and changing out the RVs up here.
Oh wow.
Oh, it was crazy. We had no idea. It was literally in our backyard. Couldn't believe it. Yes,
Yeah.
you are in the heart of it.
It is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And follow that show Ozarks. There's a lot of truth
Yeah.
to it.
Well, since I grew up here, when I watched that, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's
Oh,
true.
see,
That's
yeah.
yeah. And it was funny when I was growing up, you know, it's like, oh, so and so's dad came up missing. You know, we just as locals, it was like, well, he's in the bottom of the lake somewhere.
Right.
That was
We didn't really think why at that
yeah.
point.
Oh
you
no,
know?
we knew why, but
Yeah.
you know,
Oh wow. Wow.
some connection somewhere. He did somebody wrong. So
Yeah.
I mean, that was
Julie,
when I was young.
have we had any comments that we needed to answer?
No, sir. Not that we needed to answer.
Okay. So anytime
Well,
you guys
thank you.
want to call into the studio or you want to be on our show, reach out to yournewsarizona@gmail.com or call into the studio 928-385-4738. We're live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, 9 Pacific. Love to bring you guys on the show. We can discuss different matters that you or concerns you may have as well. And all that we ask is that you make sure what you're sharing is nothing but the truth. That's what we rely on is truth and facts.
Right.
Not a bunch of hearsay BS. So
Mhm.
other than that, that's what I call real news, folks. Only kind of news. And it's been an honor having you on our show this morning, Susan. God
Happy
bless
to be
you.
here. Yep. Thank you
God
very
bless
much.
God bless
for
your
the time.
husband. He's been in our prayers as well. And
Thanks.
just keep up the good work out there.
Good to meet you, Julie.
Yes, you too. I'm looking forward to meeting you in person at some point.
All right. Yeah. God bless you all.
All right,
God
guys.
bless you
Appreciate
as
you
well.
guys joining Your News Arizona. Jonathan and Julie D in the morning. We'll see you guys again live tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. God bless.